Welcome to another episode of STAG TALK. Tonight's topic is if your 12-year-old stepchild tells you that you're not their parent, so you can't tell them what to do, what will be your response? STAG.
Well, I would initially ask why they're asking me that, or why they're telling me that. Yeah.
And they were like, okay, what if they were like, okay, because you're not my mama, like you bossing me around and telling me what to do, like, no, you're
But
not my
something
mama.
provoked them.
Huh?
Something provoked them. Something that I did provoke them.
You can just be telling them, go clean your room, go do this. And they're like, stop telling me what to do, you're not my mom. What is your answer?
If I give you food.
I mean, I can't really say anything. They're not my child.
Well, I mean, if I'm taking care of you, then you have to show me respect. I mean, I'm not going to be disrespected by a 12-year-old girl or boy or whatever. I mean, as a, I guess, a person who's bringing in the income or whatever into the family, I think, I mean, first I would want to know why she said what she said, and then I will have a talk with her. But if she's like, oh, I hate you because you're not my mom, then, like, I mean... I mean, I wouldn't say that, but you know, I mean, I guess you just have to talk it out and just get to know each other, I guess, on a more serious base. And if you're not that close with someone's child, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with that person, because, I mean, that's what I would say.
I think you also have to be empathetic towards the child because you have to realize that they're still young, so that means that they're mature. But also, you have to acknowledge what they're going through because it can't be easy bringing someone into your life.
I got it.
Alright, I mean, I think, like, I know getting married with someone's child comes with everything, but I also think, like, the child should, sometimes it's hard to understand, like, the parents are divorced, your mom or your dad is marrying another person, so sometimes the child cannot, like, actually cope with another person who is unfamiliar with you. And then sometimes it triggers certain emotions that they can't actually understand. So I think, I mean, as a parent or like a stepdad or a mom, first, like, you shouldn't raise your tone at the person or the child just because of what the person said. Just sit the person down. Sometimes parents want to act like friends, and sometimes it goes wayward. So you don't want to be a friend. Be a parent. You are there to be a parent. You're there to correct the child and show the child the way. So I think the best thing is calm yourself down and then talk to the child. Let the child understand what the situation is, because sometimes the child is too young that he or she cannot actually understand what is actually going on. It also needs a child's approval for parents who are who are going to get married. So you also need a child's approval to get married. I'm not saying it's kind of like the child should have the biggest say, but if you're going to get married to someone else who has a child, then build a relationship with the child first. But in Africa, if I was with you, I'm gonna beat you. True, I'm telling you.
You said what?
They don't raise our voices to our parents. You don't do that.
Not even parents, to your elders.
To
You
your
don't
elders,
do that.
you don't do that.
It don't matter who you are for you if you're a stranger or living
If you were a
on the street.
stranger,
Them like, oh, come in.
they're gonna discipline you.
What? Hey!
They're really gonna discipline you. In a way, sometimes beating a child works, but when it gets to extreme, you're trying to get, you're gonna break the child. In a way, if you beat the child like that much, you're gonna break the child, because sometimes it only gets worse because in the first place, the child doesn't like you, and you beating the child makes things worse. So I
You
think,
don't respect me after that, though.
yeah.
Best to believe.
Yeah. So I mean, beating works, but you shouldn't be irrational about it. Like, be rational about the kind of decisions you're gonna make towards the child. I think that'll work for the child and your partner as well.
Thing. I personally would not get with somebody with kids because that is too much trauma. But if I were to be in a relationship with somebody or get married to someone who has a son or daughter who says that to me, being that I am Caribbean, my first initial instinct would be to yell and scream. Like, who do you think you are talking to? Okay, I feed you, I put clothes on your back. If you think you can do that yourself, you can get out. But, you know, the situation, but being that you have to understand where the kid is coming from. So I would try to get them to understand that this is a new situation and I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, so you might as well kind of get used to it. I don't hate you. I'm trying to be here for you, so let me be. You know, the more that you push me away, the harder that you're making it. Not just for me, but for your father. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going, but more than like this Caribbean in me is going to come out first and I'm going to yell and scream before I come back and say, look, let's talk. You know, you're going to yell and scream, you're going to, you know, might throw a few whips out there, you know, because they will respect me.
Yeah, I like how you think, bro. Man, I like that.
Yeah.
Bitch, that ass is get that belt, man. Well, I always have
That's
Just put
You
it in
need a
the
couple.
belt. Choose
You
one.
need a couple.
Choose one.
Oh, I'm not your mother, eh? Let me tell you something. Diria só squash out the manger. Who made it for you?
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Translate.
Oh, sorry. We were saying who made the person who made the food that you are eating. Who made it for you? That's what we were laughing at.
It's not your mother. I made it, so.
Last I checked, your mother did not buy them shoes on your feet.
No,
That shirt you are wearing, that spoon that is in your mouth, I put it there. So if you can do that yourself, by all means, I ain't your mama. Shoot.
Stag.
You gotta be your mama anyway, so. Oh, you was ooh.
No. I was on the phone with my sister. My baby girl, I messed up. But anywho, I'm back.
Back in better.
Okay, you know I'm a bit, you know. Refresh my mind. What's the question again?
If your 12-year-old stepson comes, like, says to you,
He's
you're not.
exactly 12.
I guess that's just a scenario.
I'm 12.
When he's 12 and he says, "You're not my mom. Don't tell me what to do." What is your answer?
Well, if I'm with their father and I'm coming into their life and I'm basically gonna come in and fill in the position of being a mom, or you're like basically another parent, a plus one, I'm gonna try to build a relationship with you. I'm not even head on. I know sometimes kids can be irrational and be like, you know, you're not my mom. Don't tell me what to do. Because I was like that, you know. But I understand and I get it. So therefore, I'm gonna come at you and I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna talk to you. At that point in time, I will be understanding. I'll sit here and listen with you and work with you, because working with kids in that type of situation, if your parents split up or whatever happened or whatever the scenario was, they're hurt. They don't know how to take it, especially 12. That's a tough age, you feel me? So it's just like, you know, you kind of want to step back and put yourself into their position, into their, you know, to their perspective, and kind of sit there and be like, you know, how would they feel? So at that point, it's just like, you know what? Let me sit down and talk to you, give you some guidance, you know, let you know that I'm not here to be your mom. I'm here to be like more so of a friend, or just be there of a loved one, you feel me? I'm here, I'm just a plus one. I'm just in your life, you feel me? I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna provide all your needs, but don't think of me as in I'm trying to take the place of your mom, you know? I could never do that. But at the same time, it's just like, you're gonna respect me, because if I'm giving you respect, I deserve the same respect. You know, and if I'm in your daily life and I'm with your father, you're not gonna disrespect me in my household, not at all. You, where's your mom? Is she there? No, she's not. So therefore, there's the door, get out. So I'm just saying, but, you know, I could never do that. I could never put my hands on someone else's child. That's not my child, you know. I didn't bring that child into this earth. So who am I to put my hands on you? But I will sit there and I will talk to you, and I will be strict and all and stuff like that. But I could never put my hands on you. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. I could never.
So, but okay. What if you talk to them and they're like, "Look, I understand that you're my dad's wife or whatever, but ain't nothing gonna make me like you."
Oh, then get out.
But I mean, that's reality. I mean, I'm not gonna act like if I was at that age, if my parents get married, I'm not gonna be, I'm like, look, I don't care who you are. You ain't nothing to me, you just there. You just that man.
But it's just like if you try to develop a relationship with a child or with that person and it's just not working, then something gotta give. Either I'm gonna leave or you gotta leave. Choose one, pick one. You feel me?
I think you can put a child into the situation of making a choice between like.
Then I make it. Get out.
Yeah, you go or I go. You shouldn't put a child in that kind of situation.
No,
you can't put a child in that
their
situation.
parent is put in that situation because your child comes first. If your child honestly cannot get along with me, we are butting heads all the time. You need to choose who's more important to you, this kid or me.
My child, honestly, if that, you understand? If it's the person I'm with or my child, oh, bye-bye. You're not cutting it. I'm going to find someone else that's going to cut it with my child. First off, but the thing about it is, like, I've been through it, so it's like, even though if you have a child and you bring someone else into a situation, you try to make sure that your child likes that person first. That gives you like the okay to like, you know, this is serious and I should go on with it. You know,
when you go get married, it's not
yeah,
me
it's like
and him. It's me, you,
and my child,
I mean, you
or and my
me,
children.
You gotta marry me with everything that comes along with it, not just me.
You can't love me first. You gotta love my kids first,
yes.
and then you love me for real. Because I want to know that you're gonna do for my kids that I would do, or you would treat my kids the way I would treat them if I'm not around.
You.
Exactly.
They can't be near you and be scared. We're gonna be in the house together.
You can't build
Like if you have a problem, your instinct should be like, okay, mommy's not here. Let me call him. Like you should be able to call him if you're in trouble. Not like, oh, my mom's not here. I'm dying. Like I was not. If you come on now. But a lot of those situations, if it really doesn't work out, is if they can't get along, you got it.
Your kids really tell you who you should be with or who you're meant to be with, honestly. And if your kid says that they don't want you together with this person, or they feel like it's not gonna last, it's not gonna last. Listen to your children. They know what's best, honestly. Because at the same time, they might be doing it to be spiteful, but then at the same time, you look at your kid first. It shouldn't be nobody else. You should not choose your love life, none of that.
Sometimes they'll get over it.
It's your kids.
If they're really a good person, they'll eventually get over it.
Exactly.
But if they're really a bad guy, they will stand firm in what they're saying. Like, Mom, no. You gotta listen to that. Because if you stay and you try to push this person onto them, they're gonna hate you. So now
they're gonna start to resent you and the person, and it's not gonna end up good.
Yeah.
All important relationships are built off trust, and without trust, you don't really have anything. So if you don't have that foundation, then how do you expect to have an actual relationship with the child?
Exactly.
Right.
But like, I think the best solution would be to talk to the mother because the mother actually gave birth to the
But
child.
what if the mother wasn't there? Or what if the mom is dead? Or what if the mom's not there? Then
I think you get married to someone, so you have to talk to someone there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you shouldn't give like your partner the choice to make between I go or your child go.
It should never even get that far. It should never get that far.
If it gets that far, it's just really toxic for everybody inside the relationship.
If you know that you want to be with that person, in that point in time, you're just like, you know what? Then you need to meet my child. And then if you meet the child and then you guys start to butt heads, then you already know what you gotta do. You already know what you gotta do.
If you
There
start
should be
butting
no
heads
question.
that early on the relationship, then it's not gonna work at all.
Right, it doesn't need to happen.
I mean, I understand, but I think as a parent, act as a parent. Like if you're gonna get married to someone you believe you like the person and you see yourself, you guys together, I think sometimes you should consider your child as well, but your child shouldn't have a greater factor in like the kind of life you want to have for yourself, because you divorce your other partner.
No.
I understand, like I mean I understand, but the child is 12 years old.
Yeah. I guess
you shouldn't let
like
your child decide whatever you want to do for yourself.
They're not deciding, but they're
like,
gonna take
you
into
shouldn't
consideration how they feel and what they are saying.
How they feel, it's not. Sometimes
the way
I think
they feel
how
has more of an impact on you rather than the way that your spouse feels about
Honestly.
I think how the child feels right now is not based on like the person the mom or dad brought.
Keep in mind,
it's based on like the divorce. The divorce,
be.
what happened like during the divorce, because the child doesn't understand
I don't
actually
care. I
happened.
barely know you. I had my child,
So,
and my child
sometimes
is
I-
12 years old. I've been your mother for 12 years. You expect me to take someone I've been with for a couple months or a couple of years over my child? No. Therefore, I will suck up my pride and actually sit there and listen to my child, and then be like, you know what? It's just not the time until they are old enough for me to go off on my own and they can, you know. That's what my mom did. She really did. She
You
did
have to
that.
consider the
coming
child.
from,
But the
though.
child is 12 years old.
Exactly. They could.
The child is
12 years
emotional.
old. It's not like the child is kind of a smart person to analyze things and say, mom or dad, don't marry this person
But it
because
all
of this or
depends on how
that.
they feel. Everybody has
I mean, you
emotions.
take
Everybody
That
everything
feels
into
emotion, that's why you
consideration,
consider
but-
the emotions, and you find the best way of trying to help the child, not trying to prevent the life you want to have just because of a child.
No,
It's
but
not-
I'm
but the
honestly.
thing
A
is-
guy
the thing is
doesn't
what-
only give you the life that you want. A guy is just there as like an extra. A guy,
Everybody
you can live
be
whatever life
replaced,
you want.
honestly.
Yeah, I
without
know
a guy.
you want to live the life you want, but you chose
But you don't need
someone.
someone
That
to
is what the
complete
life.
that
That
for
is
you.
the kind of life you want to live. That's why you chose someone.
My
What you
thing
mean?
is-
There's plenty of fishes in the sea. Come on, go
And you
get
chose
another
you
one.
chose- you chose
Go
the
get
person.
another one. Go will that
My-
one in. You don't need
my-
a fish in the
I
sea.
mean,
Go
I-
fish in
you
a
know,
different
I was
And
like
get
the
someone
honorable.
else, and you still have the same problem.
There are
And then
millions
what?
of
Then
people
he's
in
not
this
the
world.
one.
Here's my
You
thing.
should
Then
try
you
to
keep going. Then you keep going because
You
if
should've looked
anytime
for
you
the
go and
one.
get
The
someone
one is gonna
and your
come to
child
you,
is
that's the
saying,
problem.
I don't like the person,
I get
you
what
go
Theo
for another
was saying.
person.
If I have a kid and me and my husband, we don't work out, we divorce, I need to focus on you, make sure you okay, that you accept that this divorce happened, you understand why it happened, and you understand mommy wants to get married again, mommy wants to find love again, and you need to be able to accept
Yeah, that's
that
what
the
I'm saying.
idea, be open arms to it. But if this person really makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to tell me. But don't just,
Yeah,
you don't,
yeah,
but you don't
I
throw
understand that. I
the
understand
kids into
that.
a relationship like
Make the
that.
child
You need to talk to them
different.
saying, me and your dad didn't work out because of X, Y, and Z. Your daddy loves you. I love you. But life moves on and I want to find love again and eventually I will start dating. So I need you to be open to the idea. Basically,
Yeah, I understand.
you don't
Need
throw
enough
kids
music.
into situations like that
If
because
you're
you will
gonna
find
start
yourself
dating-
continuously leaving guys because of this one situation. I want my dad. I don't want him. He's not my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So you
what I'm
gotta
saying.
prepare them mentally and emotionally for these new people coming into their lives.
I
But you shouldn't
understand that.
introduce your child to every new person. you're
No,
dating.
of course.
Like,
But they just need to
introduce
know
them
that
to
it's
one-
happening. So if when you going out, you don't gotta
I
lie
mean,
to
yeah,
them.
you gotta
Yeah, I'm
introduce
going
them to
out,
that.
but you know, because at 12 and they're not stupid. You don't gotta lie to them. Oh, mommy's going to work. Well, I'm going on a date. If he's worth it, he's gonna come home. Okay.
You have to know like the reason behind it. Like why they angry? Why do they not like the person? Do they not like him because I'm dating someone else, or they do not like him because of legitimate reason?
I mean, I think basically,
You have to talk to
if
your kid
someone
first,
doesn't
right?
like that because my dad, he's not my dad.
Yeah, that's not
My
a
dad
good
is not
enough
around.
reason.
My mom is not around. So you're not my dad. That's why I don't like you. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think like I understand like consider the child first before you get into a relationship. I understand that, but at the same time, you also have a life to live.
Yeah.
You understand?
But in that situation, sometimes you gotta sacrifice. If my child emotionally cannot handle another man, you cannot go get one. You cannot get another one.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Because you will mess up this kid's whole life. Their emotional, like how they grow up because you keep bringing people into their lives. How they see you and the way they respect you will be tarnished. So that's why you need to focus on the kid first. If they emotionally cannot handle it, you should not be dating. Because eventually they will, especially at that age, even if you have to wait till later years when they're 18 and their 20s, when they're over it, then okay. But if they cannot handle it, you should not be dating. You need to focus on being a mom first, being a dad first.
I can relate.
I mean,
because
this is
that's-
gonna sound bad, but like
Yeah.
that's what you signed up for when you had a child, you know.
I gotta figure out if am I really gonna just stick here and be a mom, or am I gonna find love again, you know? And some kids really just emotionally can't handle it. And it depends how young it happens. So imagine you divorce and the kid is 8 years old. You really think an 8-year-old is gonna be open to you bring another man in their life automatically? No. You gotta let them grow up a little. You gotta let them get used to the idea of dad not being here all the time. You know? But if the person's 18, sir, ma'am, you are old and you're grown. Goodbye.
Kick him out of the house.
I'm not gonna
18
kick them
years old
out,
can be
but
emotional too.
at 18 years old, come on now. According to America, you're an adult.
Yeah, I think
No,
You
my
about to get
brother's
out
like that with my
soon.
mom. My brother's like that, and I'm gonna speak from experience. Like, It's two different because both of my parents are split. They're not together. My dad is the type of person, every female that he had in his life, I knew, and he introduced us to. And it was terrible. When I was about, 13, I finally told my dad that I did not want all these females in and out of my life. I did not want to see them, and I did not want them around my younger siblings because my younger siblings were getting exposed to things that I would never want them to get exposed to. I seen the most, but I wouldn't want them to, you know? And it was because one day my little brother was crying, and he literally told me, he was just like, why is my mommy not here? Why is my mommy not enough for daddy? Why is my mommy not with daddy? And I didn't know how to answer his questions. So I'm just like, you know what can I do? I can't say anything. That's why I told my dad, when you have different women, you should not bring them around your kids. And it's just like, it's a revolving door, and they just keep on coming. They just keep on coming. And it's bad. Like, it really does mess up a child's, childhood. And right now, like, my brother is about 5, and like, he knows about this stuff. And I'm just like, why are you 5 when you already know about this, you know? And it's just like, I want him to stay a kid. I don't want him to grow up too fast. And it's like, he had to, because what my dad was doing. So he was exposed to this so early on in life. Like, he already knew what was going on. He knew what was up. My younger sibling, as my younger sister, as also, like, she was exposed to. She knew what was going on. Like, my dad got married 3 times. She knew, she just knew everything. And it was just not the right thing. And it was just like, I would have wanted them to wait till, like, my sister was about 12. And, like, you know, my little brother hit, like, 8 or 9 or something that, like, really,
Old enough to get it.
you know, exactly. I would never want them to sit there and feel some type of way, like, you know, start to think and constantly, like, why is my mom not here? You know how that makes me feel, like, me, an older sister, I'm just like, I can't even answer that, you know. And we don't all have the same mom. We all have different moms. So it's just like, then I start to think, I'm like, why is my mom not here? Was she not good enough for you? What's going on, you know? And it's just like, wow, the cycle just continues. And it continues, and it just goes on and on and on. But then on the other hand, with my mom, she made the decision to not date at all and not have any type of love life whatsoever until I hit about 18. And then when I was 18, she started to date again because I was older. And she was just like, you know, I can kind of do what I want, and you guys are old enough to, like, you know, understand. And, you know, my mom was very protective of us, so she would never want someone to come in and feel as if, you know, they were taking the position of my dad or were going to play that type of role. So she just made the decision not to do that. And I was just like, you know what, I respect you for that. Instead of, you know, just letting me grow up having you and having my dad and not having a +1. And then, like, you know, you just kind of get, what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of get immune to it if you have, like, a person in the middle. It's like a middleman.
Yeah.
You know, and then it becomes something else, and it caused conflict. Because when I had a stepmom, it was like conflict between my mom. My mom didn't like how she was talking to me, or my mom didn't like how she was treating me. It's more to it than, you know, your child not liking someone. It's just a lot more to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you really have to take in consideration, like, how your child actually feels. So it's just like, you can't just sit here and be like, oh, you know what? They're just gonna have to deal with it. I wanna have a husband, or I wanna get married. I can't. No, you just can't do that. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at your child's well-being, and that's just that.
I think I understand. But yeah, true. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I was watching a video, like a story of a woman who had, like, 3 kids, and then, like, a man said he wanted to marry her, like, be in her life, and then she wondered why that man would actually marry someone who had 3 kids. Because, like, these kids were kind of like 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and then woman was just wondering why this man would actually be in this kind of life she is in now. And then I think one night she, like, one of the child got sick, and the child got started vomiting and then all such. One started crying, the other started doing this, and the mom got frustrated. Like, he called the man and he said, okay, you said you're gonna be in my life, then you have to deal with all these situations I go in. The man said, okay. So the woman said she was surprised the man even actually decided to be in her life, because if you're going to be in my life, then you're going to have to handle what I go through. You're going to be part of it. So I think if you're going to go through that kind of life you want to go in, be ready to go in like with the understanding that that child may not like you. Sometimes you may go in and the child may definitely like you, but sometimes the child may not even like you. That doesn't mean you give up just because, my partner's child doesn't like me, so that's okay, let us break up this relationship. You signed up for it. If you signed up for it and then you get disappointed, that doesn't mean you step back. You fight for what you believe in. So I think if the child says this, the child says that, I believe there is always a way. Even though the child may feel, you're not my dad, don't tell me what to do, that doesn't mean you should step back and watch the child waste his or her life just because you're not his dad, so you just leave him on, just say, oh, do whatever you want, I'll just leave you, I'm not your dad, you can go wherever you want to go. The more that you do it, you're trying to, even though you're married to that person and that person has a child, you are there to act as a parent. Act as a parent. Don't act as if you married the mom and then I'm going to be your friend. Don't act as a friend to your stepchild. Act as a parent because you got married to a parent and you signed up for it. You signed up to be a parent. You didn't sign up to be a friend of your stepchild. Act as a parent and do what you're supposed to do.
It's a preacher, man. It's a preacher. It's a preacher. It's a preacher. Oh, stag.
Go to church, praise God, stag.
I stag, 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 I stag on them, yeah, so I stag on them.